2018 has come and gone. It feels like I've spent every waking moment in the theater with how many movies that I've seen. But it's February of 2019, so that means that we can definitely go back and look at all the films that came out in 2018 and tell you our top 10 best.
I have 5 honorable mentions. Fox Lux, If Beale Street Could Talk, Creed 2, Thoroughbreds, and Black Panther. I love those movies, but I like 10 movies even more. My number 10, Incredibles 2. I thought it was a very sharp movie, a very witty movie, and a very family-friendly movie. Sure not as good as the first one, but I still had a blast.
Combustion imminent? What does that mean? Ah!
It means fire, Robert.
My number 9 movie, Suspiria. No one really talked about this movie, but it was very tight, very weird, very mysterious, but I was on the edge of my seat the whole time, and I was intrigued to what was going to happen.
When you dance the dance of another, you make yourself in the image of its creator.
My number 8 movie, The Hate U Give. Probably the most heartfelt movie this year. A movie that made me just emotionally draining, but a very entertaining movie as well, and you had to balance the comedy and the drama.
We live in a complicated world.
It doesn't seem that complicated to me.
My number 7th movie, A Quiet Place. A movie that you had to introduce sound very interestingly in a way I've never seen done before, while focusing on the character and the dynamics with the family. It was just very entertaining and mesmerizing to my eyes. My number 6 movie is a movie no one really talked about, like, at all. Not even the Oscars, Mary Queen of Scots. I love this movie, and I'm not a fan of period pieces, but how they told it, with the acting, with what I knew about the history of it, it was just very entertaining and very enthralling.
England does not look so different from Scotland.
Aye, they are sisters.
My number 5th movie, Mission Impossible Fallout. One of the best Mission Impossible movies, if not the best for a lot of people. Tom Cruise has done it again, and I can't wait to see what they do with the rest of the franchise.
Ethan, that's not who we are.
Maybe we need to reconsider that.
My number 4th movie, Paddington 2. Like Hate U Give, I was very emotional. Paddington 2 knew how to create the emotional, but for the family-friendly audience as well, and a very surprising movie indeed.
I suppose you know who I am.
Oh yes, you're a very famous actor.
VIP, celebrity.
Or used to be. Now you do dog food commercials.
My number 3rd movie, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Again, like Mission Impossible, one of the best Spider-Man stories ever told, while including all of the other characters. It's like Lego Batman, but for Spider-Man. How can I not love that?
What makes you different? Let's go! Is what makes you Spider-Man.
My number 2nd movie, you probably, very unsurprisingly to a lot of you, Avengers Infinity War. Why it's up number 1 is because I like the movie even more, but Avengers was just epic.
Evacuate the city. Engage all defenses. And get this man a shield.
And my number 1 movie for 2018, probably not your list, but for me, 8th Grade was very emotional. I connected to the main character, and I was just amazed by this A24 production, and I couldn't stop loving it.
Hey guys, it's Kayla back with another video.
And now for my list. A lot of these are going to be very similar. But my honorable mentions are Won't You Be My Neighbor, Black K Klansman, The Favorite, Hate U Give, and Shoplifters. Number 10, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Possibly one of my most surprising films of the year. It took everything that was great about Spider-Man, everything that was different about Spider-Man, and just concocted it in this beautiful cinematic universe that I'm so excited to see unfold.
How many more spider people are there?
Hey, fellas.
Hello!
This could literally not get any weirder. It can get weirder.
Coming up at number 9 is a little bit of a surprising one, which was Blind Spotting. And it was a very interesting take on culture, on the culture of a place where everybody's lived for so long, and you sort of have these sorts of different moving pieces throughout them. I thought that the whole element of that, all the elements of that film was super interesting.
Every time you come around, you monsters got me feeling like a monster in my own town.
Mission Impossible Fallout. It's epic. Tom Cruise has his own stunts. It's great storytelling. The movies keep getting better and better. I feel that that's a movie for any action fan, any fan of a blockbuster popcorn film that's also good quality. That's the movie you go see.
So, how is he?
Oh, you know, Same old Ethan.
I'm from East Coast Italian family, so I really love that element. The friendship and the dynamic that the characters had really makes for what I think is the best Oscar film of the year.
So if I'm not black enough, and if I'm not white enough, then tell me, Tony, what am I?
Coming up at number 6 is one of the most beautiful love stories I've ever seen as far as purity goes. It's If Beale Street Could Talk. Can't believe it didn't get nominated for an Oscar. It's beautiful, it's beautifully told, beautifully directed, beautifully written, and I think that everything in the movie is so genuine. Go see it.
A child was born of sin. That child is your grandchild. What difference does it make how it gets here?
Coming in at number 5, Incredibles 2, possibly my favorite fictional family in all of cinema and TV. Pixar Pixar is doing what it does best. It's an enjoyable ride. I just love it.
Is she having adolescence?
My number 4 is A Quiet Place. Not a movie that I typically would have enjoyed, but the way they utilize sound and the way it is a movie about family and not about the stylistic elements, it was really, it really hit me right here.
Who are we if we can't protect them? We have to protect them.
Number 3, a film I could not stop talking about, and a film I thought was so underappreciated, Thoroughbreds. Great character work, great writing, great cinematic nature, and a great introductory film from someone who's clearly a playwright who has a strong future ahead of him.
What am I going to tell my dad?
Wear a hat.
Number 2, Paddington 2. One of the most feel-good movies of the year. Nearly perfect. I can't pick out a flaw. You don't want to pick out a flaw. You just love the movie from beginning to end. It gives you a warm, fuzzy feeling inside. It's just great.
Marmalade.
And at number 1, I'm a little biased because of me being a franchise person, but Infinity War exceeded my expectations, was one of the most unique and best theater experiences I ever had, and one of the greatest superhero movies I've ever seen.
So that's what we thought. A lot of our opinions are pretty similar, especially in our rankings. We love pretty much the same amount of movies, but going into 2019, I do hope that it's a little bit better, because 2018 was kind of shaky, but I still thought a good year. But overall, thank you for watching, and continue to watch our top 10 worst movies of 2018.
Yeah, before you go see a movie, check in with us first.